What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the nerd on Netflix. Right on the Barbieheimer weekend, Netflix had this movie that, first of all, it felt like they've been promoting for years, because I see the teaser last year.
Yes.
And I was just like, when is this coming out? And I actually forgot about it.
Delayed like a year.
You said what, Prime?
I think it got delayed a year.
Okay, because I see the teaser last year, and I was just like, whatever happened to that? And then
I remember saying the same thing. It's like,
yeah.
how was that movie with Tiana Parrish and John Boyega and Jamie Foxx?
Exactly. But then I see the trailer again. It's like, oh, it's coming out July 21st. I was like, okay, well, we gonna check this thing out. So I always had planned on it, but then we went. Me and my wife already saw Barbie. We already talked about it in our review. But Quattro and his wife, and then me and my wife, not together, I'm saying, but we went and checked out the new Netflix movie. They cloned Tyrone. Let me tell you something. This movie is starring Tiana Parrish, Jamie Foxx, and John Boyega as the trifecta nucleus in this movie. Of the three main stars. There's other people in here also that you would know also, but that's the stronghold of this movie. If y'all didn't think John Boyega could act before, watch it now.
He gave it.
Because John Boyega, I've been calling him. Me and Sweat been calling him Baby Denzel. And even though Lady Sketchman arguing, we talk about stuff, he got us something like, but he ain't Baby Denzel though. Okay, John Boyega, because he got that Denzel lip joint that go on like he did Friday. You know,
Denzel lip.
Yeah, he got that Denzel lip. He turned around like, yeah, he got that thing going on. I'm just like, yeah, that's Baby Denzel right there, because he got the range. You see how he was thirsty for Ray in Star Wars, or how serious he was in Detroit. It's like he got the range.
He does
okay,
have the range. I'll give you that.
I'm just like,
he was giving it all in this one.
And I'm about to say, because right now I was just like, this man like really a drug dealer. I believed everything about that.
Even from the scene where, okay, are we doing spoilers?
I'm telling you right now. We have to do spoilers. I understand. I'm gonna.
Man, y'all doing spoilers. Darn it.
There's really no way to talk about this movie and not give
the only thing about that, and I'm sorry about that Q flow. I'm sorry about that prime time. I'm just saying, but as of right now, the only way to fully talk about this movie. But you know what? To be fair, I can be fair. I'm gonna give a quick synopsis of what this whole thing is about. Real quick, Q flow. So what happens is John Boyega plays this character named Fonte, who is a drug dealer. Then we have Jamie Foxx, who plays this pimp named Slick Charles. And then we said Quattro?
Hey.
And then
for some reason I'm just a fan of that character. I don't know why, but keep going.
Oh, shut up.
And then Tiana Parrish plays this hoe named Yo-Yo. That's it.
Her name Yo-Yo.
That's why I named you that, because you keep
coming back.
Wow.
Oh, that show's great. So they play their roles great. So, but what happens is, when I'm not giving too much away, Fonte, I will say this, sees that there is some guy walking down the street with this bloody shirt, and he gets kidnapped in this van, and he is a drug dealer. So he has a problem with another drug dealer. It shows in the trailer. He gets shot by this other drug dealer, right? And he gets killed. But then he wakes up the next morning and everything is cool. But it's just like he ain't really got no memory of, the previous day really, until they realize that, hey man, you've been shot. Why are you walking? Like, as Slick Charles said, you got 50 cents. So
that was wild.
They go hunt for the guy that killed him. They find his car, but when they get to the car where his house is at, This is not a regular house. Okay, and then they go down and they see there's this lab and stuff going on, and this is in the trailer, so not spoiler. When he pulls back a sheet that's on this slab, he sees himself, and now they're trying to figure out why the hell are there two Fontaines walking around, or so like, what if this Fontaine's dead? How is this Fontaine standing? The whole part of the movie is trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm telling you right now, Q-Flow, this shit is crazy. This movie is hilarious, but it's also at the same time a social commentary.
I would like to say this, and I will keep this spoiler free for those of you that have seen this movie. Have you ever watched a movie and was scared that this could be true?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I was frightened. I'm not going to go into it. I was frightened. I believed it. And then I'm mad I'm not doing nothing about it.
That's how Slick Charles felt too. And he said it in the movie. So now that's a little explanation. That was just a little telling y'all what the plot is. Now, to talk about this movie, we have to go into some spoilers. Okay, so this right here is a big social commentary. Big social commentary that I was like, I wasn't even really expecting it to be like that deep. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how they had that kind of commentary at Barbie, and I was just like, what? Really? Okay, sure. And I was just sitting there thinking like, okay, well, John Boyega off the back, I'm just like, as playing the part of Fontaine, I was like, because not only does he have to play Fontaine, he has to play multiple different characters in this film also, because he is a clone,
bro. But the discoveries that kept happening about him was blowing my mind.
But it was actually very intelligent, and even because it just starts off with this white guy's eyes and this big smiley face, and it backs out. You just see him like looking at the black people sitting there in front of
arguing about somebody about Tupac working at the store.
No, we're talking about how Michael Jackson's back work at the store because he's black. That was the commentary in there because it was.
I thought he said Tupac.
They said both.
Oh.
They said both. I'm talking about how because Tupac, he's black now.
Yeah.
You're talking about Michael Jackson, and I'm just saying so. And you really not getting the vibe of the movie until you actually like following it, and you see that Fontaine actually has like some pain that because he sees like his brother's obituary or a kid's obituary on there. You're assuming that's his brother.
Yeah.
He always making food for his mama, but his mama never answers the door. Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny? I didn't even think about that until towards the end.
I thought about it once they uncovered that lab and basically it was just like everything was a setup. I was just like, ain't no mama, can't be. Like something's not right here, basically.
Yeah, and I was just like, because at first I just thought it was like just some regular drug dealer, some hood guy. It's like, okay, my mama live here, but I'm gonna do my business. I ain't even worried about it, type thing. Right, so that's why I was thinking.
And then, bro, I was so deep into it, I started going beyond that. I was like, so how many days has he gone without seeing his mom? That he lived with her?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
I started reflecting. I was like, did she really say the same thing every time? Did I miss that?
She had a few different sayings, but this is my thing, right? She talking about somebody had a fish fry and she going down to the church. I said, you mean to tell me this lady be going out the house and she ain't saying nothing about the fact that her son is obviously a street pharmacist?
Exactly. It got the house looking all messed up.
Facts.
Yeah, so how we didn't get to that. So then, when we introduced Jay Fox's character, Slick Charles, boy, I'll tell you something. Talk about pimping. It's like black like Black Dynamite pimping. Like I could put him right into Black Dynamite and he fits.
Like if a pimp named Slipback was a live action person.
Absolutely.
I need a book of his quotes. He says so much things through the movies. I was like, I got to get this in my everyday language.
Between him, between a pimp named Slickback and Cream Corn from Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
That's him. He said, I want 2 sausages. Split it down the middle. Smush fried. Said, this is some Jamie Foxx shit. He would have said that.
Boy, I felt it. That's how I feel with my kids when he was scared when Fonte came back and he was just like, "Hey, don't touch the damn bottle. Throw the bottle damn out." I was like, "Damn, that sounded like me when I throw in the bottle."
But he was dead. So he said, you came in here, you ran through my haberdashery, you passed through my legs, bitch. I said, wait a minute.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I almost pissed on myself when he said that.
You ran through my haberdashery.
Haberdasheries passing through my beige bitch. Then you went outside and pulled a 50 cent. I said, wait a minute.
Right.
Yo, so
he had lots of one-liners in this movie. I was just like, bro.
And so after Fonte gets shot, and Yo-Yo being what y'all call that, the bottom bitch for Slick Charles.
Right.
She was Honeybee.
Oh yeah, there you go, Honeybee. That makes the perfect sense right there. And then how they all got together, you know, and they go and travel to go find the car for this drug dealer that shot him because he ran over one of his Arab boys at the beginning, like just straight ran him over.
He almost murdered. I don't know how he ain't died.
Right.
Yeah.
Even like a small step before that, when he came out when they replayed the day and he sees himself getting kidnapped, yo, even as the watcher watching it, you like,
oh shit, that was him.
Yeah, you like part of you see that, but you like, nah, I'm tripping, and the movie went right along with that.
Yeah, because I'm sure I'm definitely gonna see it again. So. That was him walking down the street that got kidnapped.
Which is wild. No,
I'm asking a question here.
Oh, yes.
See, because I can't see that good. And I was curious, too, because he was looking real crazy.
Yeah.
And nobody else said anything.
Right.
Like, it just happened. And nobody said nothing. Like, was nobody else in the street? And they just snatched up this bleeding man?
Like seriously, or like how much, you know, is there? So that's the part of the good for the movie also. But when we get down to what the real commentary is, down there underneath the the Glade is where they live at. The Glen is where they live at. Right. White folks are making this substance and putting it in all things that black folks like. Hair care products?
No, not hair care products.
Sorry.
Perm.
Excuse me.
Grape drink.
That was Dark and Lovely. I know Dark and Lovely when I see it.
And chicken.
And fried chicken.
Immediately, I was just like, you be frying.
You be buying. Yeah, we be frying. General's chicken. The best chicken in the
Generous chicken. What'd you say, Quattro?
The malt liquor too.
Yeah, the malt liquor. Say,
I want you.
I want you to buy my new fried chicken. That is, sure enough. And I was like, I'm getting Undercover Brother vibes here.
Gotta go watch Undercover Brother now.
Yeah. So, not. So, they're taking control of all like the black folks with this substance inside of all this, you know, all this food and all this stuff that we use.
Let me tell you how at that part, when they got to the part, I was like, shit, that would work.
Yes. Oh, and the chicken part, I seen an interview. This was recorded before the strike.
Yeah.
So they put up an interview where Tiana Parrish was like, her and Jamie Foxx was like, we gotta pretend to eat this chicken. It's nasty and cold. And John Boyega was over there fucking that chicken up. Come to find out, he had sent somebody out to get him fresh hot chicken. And she was like, you just let somebody go out and get your chicken. They say nothing else. He was like, everybody does rich different. Sir.
Baby, this hell.
That's the blackest shit I heard in a while. everybody does Rich different. And the first thing you do on set is somebody go get me some fresh fried chicken.
Fresh fried chicken. I'm gonna fuck this shit
You
up.
playing right into the movie, my guy.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
So as we get into like one of the main places, like the mind fucks of the thing is that because like what I said, it has really happened. When they go down there and find out that they've been cloning, but what they don't realize is that not every black person in the Glen is being cloned.
No.
Yep.
They're only cloning the ones that can help keep black folks in line, basically.
Yes. You have some kind of influence over you, whether it be an influence that's supposed to be positive, like the pastor, or an influence that will keep you inebriated, the drug dealer, or to keep just general violence and horrible things happening to hoes and pimps. So it's not everybody, because Yo-Yo is not a clone. She's a one of one, and
because they look at her as expendable.
Yep.
And I was just like, yo. And first of all, by the way, Pastor played by David Allen Greer.
I was really hoping that he would break out Leon Lonnie Love. I really wanted him to come in.
We was getting taste.
I gotta feel it.
He was close. He was close.
Right.
we was getting taste. And I was sitting there thinking like, yo. It was blowing my mind thinking about, because we've all lived in the hood before. And I was like, it was blowing my mind like, yo. The scary thing is that would fucking work.
Yep.
Because of how, let's just use the word that nobody likes, the trigger word, brainwashed we all can be.
But see, I think that it is working, but it's not in the context of the way it was done here. This was done in a more overt way. But putting things in the hood, liquor stores, smoke shops, check cash in place, all of these places you saw in the movie, they all exist in the hood.
Exactly.
And they only exist in the hood.
Facts.
So it's like, it's not like there's somebody who is physically there underground controlling and surveilling everything you're doing, but it is though.
Yeah.
So
and you know what? Low-key, I believe it. I know it's a movie. I felt like I just watched Truth.
So basically, the overarching thing they were trying to do was to get everybody. It was unity was supposed to be the point of this, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And everybody basically would end up being a white person, and there would just be variations over 5 generations. It would take 5 generations to successfully get from black people all the way to everybody just being the same. Because the folks that you saw walking around with the fros, like the white people, you like, why do white people got afros? Because they were already experimenting and it didn't turn out the way that they thought, or it did, and they're at probably generation 3. Because I didn't realize it until I saw one of those breakdown videos. When you see it down, when you go down there, you see it from like a fully unambiguous black man, lighter skinned beige man. Yeah. And it looked kind of like where we was at with the dude who got killed in the lab. Yeah. And the one who was running the restaurant. He like, that's where he was at, about number 3. Yeah. And then you get to 4, and then 5 is just a fully white person.
But you know what? That also creeped me out too, because that's actually what's happening in society now.
Yeah, and that's not with the.
I mean, it's not with the actions that's going on here, but what's also going on is like there have been people, there have actually even been some celebrities, rappers, stuff like that, who are very dark skinned that go out on purpose to go get white people, so they feel so their baby white, so my baby don't have to go through what I went through, right? And they come out, and then of course it's a mix. It's gonna be a lighter tone, and then when that lighter tone person goes out and gets a white person, and then they mix, and then the baby comes out even lighter, and next thing you know, you're like Ronda Rousey, like I got a great grandfather that's black. Like what?
It don't take that long. I want y'all to understand this. I want you to go and look up Donna Summer's granddaughter. You know what Donna Summer looks like? Yeah. Go look up her grandbaby. It don't take that long.
It doesn't take that long at all.
And I think that was kind of the like.
That you get him like Sol Roca from NXT.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that was the one of the other underlying things. Even though the bigger part of this was that we surveilling y'all and poisoning you, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's why I thought it was so wild when he was breaking it down, you know, when they did the reveal of who's really behind it. And he pretty much said, hey, guys, I'm doing this to save y'all, because the only way to save us by being black is being white. And I was like, damn.
But those, as you get to like, the big reveal, the one who's behind this whole thing is Fontaine.
It's Fontaine.
Mm-hmm.
His older version, because his brother was killed by a police officer and left in the street to die.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt as though that he said, hey, look, so you're going to work with the white man, and what's going to happen is he said that, what was the word that he used that's better than annihilation?
Assimilation.
Assimilation is better than annihilation. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh my God, bro, what are you doing right now? And,
but then he said originally that was it wasn't the original plan.
They did have a plan. I forgot what the plan was, but it didn't work out.
Awry, and then they was just like assimilate everybody the same.
Yeah, I do want to go into some cons or some things that I may have not liked about the movie. It's more so nitpicks. I'm not gonna say this is an excellent movie to me, but there is some things I do want to address, like what Lace was about to say. When Fonte revealed that he's doing all this stuff, he's older, and you're trying to figure out what era are we in, because we still have landline phones, flip phones,
Tube TV,
fatback TVs, but yet President Obama is mentioned. Michael Jackson's not dead yet. You know what I'm saying? So,
are you sure he's not dead yet?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if they ever explicitly said that he wasn't dead. They just reference him a lot because he is a person. I guess it was like a nod to, is he one of these people kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the one thing, because I understand what you're saying, but I think that it was done purposely. Because what is the thing we always say, especially when we be talking to our son, and we say, we didn't have this much access to technology and information in the palm of our hand.
Yeah.
When we were your age.
Uh-huh.
So if you have something, if you have a control, if you're doing a science experiment, you need a control, which means that it's called that because you control the parameters of what is put in or taken out.
Absolutely.
So if this is the control environment, you don't want but so much technology.
Damn.
Because then people will be like, shit is not, something ain't in the milk ain't clean, basically. Yeah. Because if you do expose them to too much technology, then they'll realize it's a conspiracy theory every 5 minutes when you scroll on social media. So you can't allow them to have social media and start seeing shit and people start getting suspicious without, some shit like this happening.
Damn.
So it's like, also, imagine if you have things like the labs they have underneath everything. If you have advanced technology, how you know you don't turn on the Bluetooth on your smartphone and it pick up some shit down in the lab? You're like, no, what the fuck is this? Screen 7564 torture room 2.
Definitely.
How am I? What
I
am I connected to?
I didn't even think of it like that. That's kind of blowing my mind right now as I'm recording this.
Shit, even Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the kind of technology that would have been able to connect to a Wi-Fi. You have to control. They're in a petri dish.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to introduce anything into this petri dish that can potentially contaminate what I'm doing here.
Would you break it down like that? I further understand that. And I understand, and they also use film to record this, so you got to get the nice grainy look, like the kind of old school look also. I enjoy that. I think that was probably the only nitpick I really had with the movie. And because everything else, I was like, no, because I'm enjoying this from up and down. It was...
Because this is the thing. I think it can still be a nitpick because you still wonder, where are we at? what time? Like, what year is this?
Yeah.
But I do think that was left ambiguous on purpose. We don't
Duh.
see calendars. We don't see.
Damn, I ain't picked that up.
Yeah, we don't see cops.
That's what I was saying. Like, there's no cops.
Yeah.
Which to me, in a place where there's so much shit going on, I feel like it would raise my antennas if there was no cops. Like, even just a sheriff from a surrounding county riding through. There's no cops.
But also think about it, growing up experience in the hood. When real hood shit went down, where were the cops?
Yeah.
But even but like for nobody, like people getting murdered left and right and getting picked up and cloned, and there was nothing.
Well, I'll tell you.
I was like, when the last time you seen a movie and there was a whole stroll and a cop ain't come break up the whole stroll?
True. Yo, also another question. Who's old dude and why does he know so much?
I was thinking the same thing. It's usually somebody who is like the oracle, somebody who has the answers, who you hide somebody in plain sight.
Yeah.
The spook who sat by the door.
Hot damn.
If you may call it that.
Yeah.
It's he is, because they're monitoring everyone. He's an alcoholic. He is a wino sitting in front of the store, just like Yo-Yo, does not pose a threat to anyone. So this man been listening and seeing everything that's happening, and everybody just like, man, whatever. It's just the wino in front of the liquor store.
Yeah.
Not realizing that this man probably has been seeing all of the nonsense that's been going on, because that store, if I'm correct, is the one. Was that the one they were going to? They went to at the end. And they said open the surface doors. Yeah. This man been sitting out front every day.
Every day.
Getting drunk, or maybe not. And he's probably seeing everything that's happening and has all the answers to what's going on. And you know, old folks love to talk in riddles.
Yeah. So
he's saying all kinds of wild stuff, and they just like, man, it's whatever. So I don't know. I wonder, like, was it just that he was a wino and they ignored him, or was he somebody who was like integral to this and ended up on the outskirts? I don't know.
Was he a plant? Did he used to work downstairs and lost his mind and then went up? So he still got the knowledge, but that's why he's drinking that stuff every day, so he can't get all of his mind back because he's drinking the product.
Well, this thing will just fuck with your mind. That's basically what it will do. That's what this movie would do. It will mess with your mind. This movie already, for myself, is already a lock. I have a list of things that I keep track of what I think is going to be like the best 2023, stuff like that. Then I have a lock list, like things that no matter what comes out, no matter what else is going to come out, and whatever the thing's going to change, this will always still be on my list. This has made my lock list of 2023. This movie was hella intelligent. It was right. It was hella good. And it was, like I said, with all this deep social commentary we're talking about right now that made us feel uncomfortable at times, the shit was still hilarious.
Yes.
And that's why it throws me, because I feel like somewhere, somebody, somehow is listening and going, hey, look, we done told them what happened and they still don't care. That's crazy.
Yep.
It's kind of like what happened towards the end, which I was like, didn't tell you how touching this movie was. They were going around talking about Fonte this whole time, right? And then at the end, when they released the clones, and then we see this other version of John Boyega on the screen, and it's obviously in L.A., like he's a Crip. And he was like, hey, Tyrone, is that you? I was like, damn, the movie is called They Clone Tyrone. And I was sitting thinking, because I was like, the whole movie, I wouldn't pay attention, his name was Fonte.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, stick. Then you made me ask you more questions. So, guys, when it comes to They Clone Tyrone, I mean, it was, I find it an excellent movie. I think the acting was great. I think the comedy was great. Social commentary was right. It's on the nose. It's going to hit you. It's going to, especially if you're black, it's going to hit you. And you can sit there thinking like, I felt just like Slick Charles that he said, look, I had put all my bitches on vacation. I was just like, yeah, I felt bad. He said, I set them all out. And then remember he was like, he tried to get yo. He was like, "Hey, bitch, get back!" Okay, I'm sorry. This is a reflex because he felt.
She said, "Fuck you." He said, "Fuck you." I'm sorry. That was just. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, that was just a reflex. I was like, that's how I was feeling. I was just like, yo, man, I'm sorry. You know, you just didn't want to do your shit, the shit that you used to. You're like, damn, I'm really fucked up right now.
Yeah.
I'm really part of this problem. I gotta fix it somehow, but I don't know what to do. That, bruh, the mind fuck. You know what I'm saying? The mind fuck. It has all that. But when it comes to the Clone Tyrone, Quattro, let me get your score.
This movie was amazing, and it scared the crap out of me. Like, I don't know how to say this again. It was too true.
It was too true.
I honestly felt like I watched the best documentary in the world.
It hits home. Late sketch. What was your think of it?
I would give it an A. I agree with Quattro. When it's like, this is great. We having fun. We laughing. But wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is it another me in a hood somewhere on a holstro? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm scared of that. But even with me being scared, this movie is a complete nerdgasm. It makes my lock list. It's on there. It's that and and another movie is on there, and it's gonna be there. So when it's like I was so shocked how good this movie was. And please, y'all, John Boyega, he that dude.
Y'all better give him some nominations or something.
I'm about to say John Boyega is that especially if you just hear him talk regular. And he got that British accent. Yeah, no, John Boyega is that dude. Baby Denzel's Baby Denzel. I'm just trying to tell y'all that.